everybody, it's Silvana and welcome back to the channel. It is November the 30th, the last day of NaNoWriMo, and as we said on the update where we got our 50,000 words, we are going to do an overview of what happened with Nan, where did we end up, and what's the plans going forward. And since that's most of the videos have been really short for the month since I've been spending what time I have writing and stuff like that, I thought I'd make this video a little longer and we can also talk about the outlining that I'm using. I will link the video I got this outlining technique from both up in the card and in the description below. I'd like to give credit where credit is due, although right now, off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name of that channel, so I do apologize that I can't also give them an actual verbal shout out during the video. I should have probably looked at that before starting recording, but I've never been known to plan, so why start now? Alright, so let's start with the easy stuff and pretty quick. Now, we got our 50,000 words plus a little extra on the day before yesterday, so on the 28th, and entered that and got our badge for 50K and our certificate for winning NaNo, and I have not written a single word since then. So, all told, overall, for the month of November, I wrote 50,090 words. That gave me a total of 63,090 words in my project. When I started at the beginning of November, I had one chapter done, which was chapter 3, and one chapter almost finished, which was chapter 1. We now have chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, straight through, quasi-edited, finished. We have good starts in 13 and 14, but they are not done. And we do have 15 and 16. Did I lose count? Am I wrong? No, that's 15, 16. Also finished. So, all told, we'll count 2 because 1 was basically done except for a paragraph. So, I say for the month we finish 12 chapters, and these 2 will count as the 2 that were done. I have taken yesterday and today off of writing. That's more of a recuperation. Writing 50,000 words was quite a number, and so yeah, I could have written some more words and got it more over 50, but I'll take the win for my first time doing an actual NaN, doing all 50K. I'm also suffering a little bit, maybe depression or letdown. I had a hope and the idea, especially early, about the first half of the month, that I might get 2/3 of this novel finished in November and finish it in December. With how many chapters are left, because, well, let's look at that. So we wrote 12 in the last month, and chapters left we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 chapters left. That means basically, now this is all averaged out and not distinct or not definite in any way, but if these chapters that are not done end up being near to the same amount of words as the rest of these chapters have been, that would mean I would have to do NaNoWriMo again for December to even come close to that number. And I took, after, especially at the end of November, how much I was dragging ass to hit 2,000 words, I don't know that I can do that. Now, there is a possibility, because as you can see, we're now getting through the second half of the second half, and then we'll be hitting that third act, and that might go faster than I'm anticipating. Plus the fact that I do have, again, based on what the length of these chapters are, I have some of these maybe a third or a fourth of the chapter done. Some of them just no, not even that close to done. So, I mean, what I'm gonna say going forward, and I do plan to vlog, to not maybe every day, but I do plan to keep up on the habit of making a video more often. What I'm going to talk about as of yet, I don't know. But, you know, I'm just going to write, and when I get done, I get done. And if it doesn't get done by the end of December, well, I might be a little disappointed in myself if I'm going to be honest about that. But I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I'm not going to let that tiny little bit of, but I didn't finish it before the year was out, bring me down. It just proves to me more that what happened with the finish of Ghost, then going into 50s, and then going straight into the edit of Ghost, and then going straight into trying to start Nights, which is what crashed and burned us for a month and a half, where there was no words, is what toasted this from being done if it doesn't get done. That's what screwed being able to get done. So I do need to look at my next year coming up on better how to manage my project placements. But that's it for the update on that. Now let's talk the outline. Now I am not showing you, obviously, my outline for my book. But I copied and pasted the box and cleared it out that I am using. So I found this on a video about outlining. Again, links in the description and in the card, where they break the story into 3 acts. They break each act into 3 parts. To make a beginning, middle, and end of the book, and then a beginning, middle, and end of each part of the book, so that you're like, you know, wow. You probably didn't see that because it's white on white, but where it makes like that bell wave. Alright, so these are the words or terms, or my interpretation of the terms that they use. Where they got this outline novel from, I'm unsure. I don't know if it's from Save the Cat, or the beat sheets, or they made it up themselves, or where they got it from. But basically, the idea here is to make a very, well, the way I used it, you could be as detailed as you wanted to, I suppose, using this as your outline. You could break each one of these parts into parts if you wanted to. I mean, it would really depend on how you use it. But I was looking for something a little more simple and a little more bare bones, because I typically, well, at least when I wrote Ghost, I was very much a pantser. No outline at all, no plot, no plan, no timeline, no nothing. Just write. Um, I did outline for nights using this. I'm regretting not doing some other pre-work. I don't think I'll have to do it for the novel that's the next, because the character count on that novel is lower. Ghost is very bare bone when it comes to character, how many characters are in it, and uh, Project House, I think is what we're going to call that. I don't know what we're going to call the third book yet. It's a good project. Yeah, Project Build a House. I don't know what it's going to actually get termed. Probably Project White House. It'll sound presidential. I don't know. It ain't, but it's about a White House, so what the hell. But the characters in Knights, there's a lot of them. So there's a lot of moving parts. I wish I had sat down, and I thought I had, and made like character cards or sheets for my main characters, birth dates, physical attributes, where job or education goals, stuff like that. I didn't do that thing. I kind of wish I had. So I'm still talking about this. So this is what it is. So Act 1, your introduction, you meet the characters, your inciting incident, what starts it. I don't remember the example they'll use, but I'll use books I know real well. So let's start with Harry Potter. So Harry Potter, Act 1, introduction, part 1, you meet Harry Potter at the very, very beginning when he's being delivered to Privet Drive. Inciting incident. I would say the inciting incident would be Harry gets the letter, but you could push that the thing with the snake would be, and then the reaction, there's going to be an immediate fallout for what that is. And this is, so let's say it's the snake. So the immediate action of the snake is Harry gets put into arm restriction and thrown in the closet for a while. The ongoing is, the Dursleys are extra surly to him and being complete dorks. Then action, the consequence of that action. So like action, the letters come, consequence, Dursley starts boarding up the house, pressure, he then moves them out of the house and tries to hide. Plot twist, in this, plot twist is Harry really is a wizard and is going to go to Hogwarts. So then he goes to Hogwarts. That pushes him into Act 2, the New World. We are on the train to Hogwarts. Fun and games. Weird adventures arise on the train, and, well, this is on the train. So this would be a whole new chapter. So weird and fantastical new adventures occur because you're at a school of magic. I would write that maybe a little differently than J.K. did, but hey, be your own canon. Then contrast it to the old world. This I would probably say is Christmas, where he's getting presents, and he's actually getting presents, and he's not being ignored, and he's not getting crap. Then you have your build-up. They're starting to notice something's weird with Snape. And your midpoint. and I'm trying to think of what would be some of these things in Harry Potter and what makes sense for these, but your midpoint is everything's balancing, and then so this is another plot twist or reversal. So this might be the thing with Norbert with the dragon, because that throws a huge wrench into what's become the norm, and then the reaction to that. Oh crap! We get in trouble. We have to do detention, and then you have action because you got to get rid of the dragon, so it's got to go, and so we got to do all the stuff to get it to go. Then you dedicate yourself. No more. I'm gonna keep my nose to myself. I'm gonna stay out of everybody else's business. But do I have this book out of order in my head? Because this might work better with it being Halloween and the troll. But you get the point. And then the dedication sends you into Act 3, where stuff's happening and you're having trials. You're up against it, you're winning some, you're losing ones. And then now this doesn't happen in Harry Potter, but for an example, for me, because I can't think of what it actually would be for the first book from Harry Potter, because my brain's being dumb right now, and I should have wrote them in the square. The downward strike in this would be something like they try to get past Fluffy and can't, or maybe this is where they get caught trying to get past Fluffy. So everybody's in trouble, and he might be suspended, and everything looks bleak. It's your very darkest moment, and then you discover your power within. The flute, the way through. So then we got to go down. Oh no, Snape's after the stone. We got to act. And for Converge for that, probably with the first book would be them going through the chess match and the keys and stuff like that. Then the battle begins. So Harry and Voldemort / Quirrell start talking smack and going back and forth. Then the climax, the end of the battle happens. He kills, because he kills Quirrell. Let's be honest about that, by the touch thing, and he passes out to where you have your resolution. It's the end of the book. In this case, it's Harry. Well, this might actually be in the battle, and then climax might be that after, where Harry's in the hospital and they're having the feast. But I feel like that's more in the resolution, and that Harry Potter kind of has a dual resolution. You have the one in the school where they have the feast and Gryffindor ends up winning the cup and all that other stuff. And then you have the one when he gets back to home and everything goes back to normal, well, quote unquote normal for Harry, while at the Dursleys. But that's what the outline is. It's really simple. So what I did to make sure I understood who went where, because I had already finished Ghost, is I put stuff for Ghost in the spots that made sense of how it would flow if I had used this outline while writing Ghost. Weird thing is most of the stuff for Ghost fit right where it should go, and was good. So then I, of course, copied it again, cleared everything out except for the names, and I started making the outline for Night in October. and I've used it. And the outline I used, the introduction is like literally one or two sentences for each one of these. And what I did is I just put the ones I knew off the top of my head. And I knew like all of Act 3, a bit like this bottom half of Act 2, like here, and then like all of that. And then like, I knew like the top 3 or 4, so I had some fill in here and fill in here. And I'll tell you, because I've gotten done with this now, when I wrote it, I had a little bit of problem with this part here, and I had a lot of problem with this part here. And I had problems figuring out what would go into that spot when I did the outline. So I'm not real surprised by that. I thought the outline would help solve the problems that I had, but I'm not super surprised by that, if that makes any sense. But that's the video for today. I wanted to thank all you all for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and do all the do's below. If you have any questions or ideas for future videos, things you'd like to know about me personally, about how and what I write, or any of that other stuff, definitely feel free to, throw those ideas out there or ask me questions. I know I said I was going to do it. I do plan in the next couple of days or so to make that video off of Ben's 2 tag videos. I plan to make responses for those that he made during NaN. I couldn't make them during NaN. I just did not have that extra time to do stuff like that and answer that kind of stuff. But I do plan to. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope you have a really great day.